Another Juice Podcast. Cody Mitchell here for our picks for Tuesday, February 10th. This is the best bets portion. I popped on here on, I believe, Friday night. Yeah, for Saturday. We went 4-1 on those picks here. I'm going to try to jump on here as much as I possibly can for the rest of the college basketball season. Hopefully get the rest of the podcast up here on YouTube as soon as possible. I think I went 14-3 in the plays I gave out on the regular show, and two of them between Georgetown and Ole Miss. I thought I was on the right side for both of them. It was really close, to a 16-1 day. That would be insane. But, I had some go my way. It ebbs and flows. You got to take the good with the bad. But, yeah, let's just jump right into the best bets we got for Tuesday, February 2nd or 10th. I wish it was March. That'd be pretty sweet. Purdue is headed to Pinnacle to take on the Cornhuskers. Nebraska is laying a 1.5 over-under, set at 147.5. I don't know what that game was for Purdue. What was it? Unless it was just a clear look ahead on Saturday. They looked terrible against Oregon. That was a basketball game for the majority of it. 88, I think it was 88-84 was the final. That had a little bit of concerns. And I've had concerns all season with Purdue. There's something about them. I don't know if I just don't trust them. But it was just very ugly. And I was not impressed whatsoever. I know Nebraska is kind of hitting a little bit of a wall here. Obviously, you start off the season, what was it, 23-0? 23-0? 21-0, or 20-0, sorry. Dropped the two to Michigan and Illinois. So two really good teams. They bounced back against Rutgers. But now you're coming back home. And I'll tell you what, it is really hard for me to fade Nebraska on their home court. I know they just lost to Illinois. I know they did. But it was a hard-fought game, and it was a little bit of revenge factor from the game that Nebraska took from them in Lincoln. So I think the Cornhuskers right the ship here. Pinnacle is going to be bumping, and I love the matchup everywhere on the court for Nebraska. I think they can contain Braden Smith, Fletcher Lawyer, all the shooters. They have the Renique Mask who can match up well with Trey Kaufman-Renn. And on the offensive end, Mask is going to have TKR have to, stretch out. I think it opens a lot up for their offense. So for me, I think it's pretty simple here. I am going to lay the 1.5 of Nebraska. Typically for me, not being a giant, unit better, size isn't crazy. If it's 1.5, I always think, you're losing very, very minimal amount of money. Just always take the money line on the 1.5, and then when you're getting plus 1.5 is when I take the points. We just had that. I think that was one of the bets I gave out on this. I gave out, not on here, but I did give it out on the actual podcast, was the Seton Hall game, where Seton Hall was controlled the whole entire game. Kind of blew it at the end. Creighton comes back, it's a game-winning 3, and Seton Hall still does cover that 1.5. Always take the 1.5. Let's go to Colorado here. Colorado State, in-state battle here, is laying 14.5 points against Air Force, and Air Force is laying, or over-under is 134.5. Okay. I'm normally not somebody that likes to get on here and bet these big numbers. I'm not a big number better, not typically. Typically like, the ones that are a little bit closer here. But I want to do this one. I have been on the right side of this for a hot minute. Air Force is really bad, and they cannot cover anything. Let's look at the last few games here. I know they're also on a, they started off 3-4 on the 16-game losing streak. This number seemed a little low to me. Let's go back to Saturday, January 17th against Nevada. They lose by 15 at home. Not terrible. Not terrible, but I think Colorado State is not too far off of Colorado, or off Nevada. Then they did play Colorado State, lost by 29 on the road. They lost by 42 on the road to Boise. Go back home, lost to 17 to Fresno. Really bad. They lost by 24 to Grand Canyon in a game that was, I think Grand Canyon at one point was up 36. And then it kind of, fell back down. And I ended up getting the cover because it was 23.5 at the time, and I bet it. But I know a lot of minus 24.5 guys on Grand Canyon had to be furious about that because they had a 30-point lead at halftime. They were up 37-38 late in that second half. And this weekend, I went back on them again. San Diego State won by 34 on the road at Air Force. I think 14.5 for a bad team is just a little bit too low. I'm going to lay it with the Rams. I don't love playing these big ones, man, but in these Air Force games, it's just been cash and left and right. So no way I'm going to go against it. Lay it with the Rams. Let's move on to our last game here. We have Virginia laying 7.5 points on the road against Florida State, over under 150.5. Do not look now, but Luke Locke kind of has the Seminoles playing good ball, man. They won 4 of the last 5 games. The only loss is on the road by 3 to SMU. You have wins against Miami, Cal, Stanford, and Notre Dame. I know not a complete world beater, but I mean, Cal could be a tournament team. Miami's going to be a tournament team. Stanford's fringe tournament team. Notre Dame's not very good, but that was a good road win. I think just rattling off these 4 of the last 5, I mean, they're playing good ball. And that, I wouldn't say I'm not a giant fan of the NBA guys going into college, but you know, Kevin Young's doing his thing. I'm going to give Luke Locke a chance, and I think that's a talented roster. So I shouldn't say they're like going above the expectations, but I kind of wrote them off halfway through the year. They've righted the ship, and now we're coming back home against a really good Virginia team. I'm very interested to see how the crowd's going to be. So Florida State, when the team is good, will fill that stadium. I think with the big-time ranked opponent coming to town, the place is going to be locked up. And the flip side for Virginia, a team that, I mean, Ryan Odom's done a really good job. 20-3 in the season, but I do think they still play with their food a little bit. You know, they beat SMU by 4 on the road. They beat Boston College by 7 on the road. Took double overtime on the road to beat Notre Dame. And now they're going on the road to Florida State, a team that's playing a lot better. I think that they're just had it up. They're 91st in KenPom. I don't think it's the 91st team in the country, man. I think this team is playing like the 40s. I like Florida State, and I'm going to sprinkle a little bit on that money line. I think Florida State gets it done at home and knocks off the ranked Virginia Cavaliers here. So let's go Seminoles. That's going to do it for this show here. Again, 4-1 on the first one. We're going to see what we do here, and hopefully we will continue on the winning side, and I will pop on here as much as I can. Good luck to everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'm out.